Hello and welcome to another video here at Waterloo Toyota on our YouTube channel. I am standing here with a beautiful car here at Toyota. This is our 2025 Toyota Prius plug-in SE trim level. Thank you very much for watching our video here, guys. Whether you're searching for a new vehicle, a pre-owned, whether you're after something sporty like a GR Corolla or an electric vehicle, come on down to Waterloo Toyota. The best experience of purchasing a new vehicle, get in these new vehicles, try them for yourself, see how they drive, ask lots of questions. And I wanted to thank you very much for watching our video. If you mention this video, you'll get a great new incentive on your vehicle, on your purchase. So thank you very much for watching Waterloo Toyota's video. This is one of Toyota's halo cars for an extremely long time. They've always taken care of the Prius, made sure that it's one of the ones that's the best equipped, has the newest features. And in 2024, when they redesigned the Prius, they definitely did that. This vehicle is absolutely loaded up, and it's one, especially with the plug-in option, it delivers the power that a lot of people are looking for, delivers the fuel economy that a lot of people are looking for. And with that kind of hatch style, the Prius is a really good option. So we'll start right up front here. The number one thing is the engine change they made in 2024. With that change, they increased the horsepower up to 220 horsepower, and they gave the EV with that plug-in option, they gave it a 70-kilometer range on this SE model. So with the smaller wheels, you get that better range. With the upper trim levels, it does go down to about 65. But with 220 horsepower, it's something that delivers a lot of power while also being fuel efficient. So it kind of gives you that mix. If you're still looking for the traditional combustion engine, but you want the ability to get fuel economy, that 60 kilometers or 70 kilometers of range, for most people gets you to and from work on a full charge. You can charge every single night at home. And then when you do have those longer trips, you've got the full hybrid engine with a full gas tank that can do that 1,000 kilometers of range you're used to in the Prius. I personally believe with that extra power, and the reason I spend a little bit extra time on it is the extra power in this Prius. I personally would never have enjoyed driving the older models. They felt like go-karts, getting on and off the highway. It was a horrible experience, at least for somebody my size. I'm used to driving trucks, I like driving, and I really found it was underpowered. Improvements they made in 24 is something that if your grandma had a Prius, if your uncle had a Prius, come try the new one. It's definitely worth playing with. So we'll go around the vehicle here. I'll show you a few things. The number one things you'll notice here in 24 is they've really taken on that new style that Toyota's working on with the hammerhead front. You've got the really nice dominating front end with those really sleek, long line LED headlights. Great illumination, but at the same time, it looks really, really sharp. They're going for that, that long, sleek look. And one of the things that I really like for a base model Prius, and this is where I was saying they take care of it, and I'll probably say this a few more times as we go, but one of the things I really like is on a base model, you've got the parking sensors here. So while you're trying to move around, especially in parking garages, a lot of folks that own these live in town, live in the city. So to have those parking sensors is a really big deal in small spaces to make sure that you're safe. And I'll show you that a little deeper in the car, but I think that's a really, really good feature to have that on a base model. And then as we go down the vehicle here, I'll scoot around. The Prius, they loaded up good right off the bat. You do have a nice set of alloy wheels right on there. Those come stock on the base pack with a really good set of tires as well, of course. And then as we come down the vehicle, you'll notice they've done a really good job of the lines on this vehicle with that contrasting blue and black look the whole way down. This is the Guardian gray color. And like I said, I think that contrast looks really, really nice as you come down the vehicle. And you'll notice a few really nice touches. You do have the smart key entry on this vehicle. With that also comes remote start. So again, a base model that's got all those features right away. And I really like the nice little look. They've got the top handle here on the rear door tucked in really tight and nice. Makes it a really nice look on the back of the vehicle here. So we'll come around the back here and I'll show you a few things back in the hatch area before we get in. So come on. In the back of the vehicle here, I really like that they carry those long lines. You're probably used to this on the Prius. In previous gens, you would have remembered they had really weird window variations here on the back. And for any of you folks in the past that have either owned a Prius or shopped for one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I really feel like in this current gen, they've really fixed that. The vision is much better looking out the back. You don't have that bar right in the middle of your eyes that a lot of you know what, like I said, know what I'm talking about. That's one thing that they've definitely improved. I really like this back end. I think the Prius logo labeled right on the back is really, really strong. It looks great on the vehicle. And then one thing to note for any of you folks that are returning as well to the brand, you'll notice the symbols have started to change. So we no longer have our blue Toyota logos. They've brought those back to the standard silver or black, whatever we were used to. But you'll start to see this new logo. So this is the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Just what that is there for you with our Target Zero logo. I'll pop open the hatch here and show you the inside. One thing that's always good on the Prius is you've got a ton of space. It is a hatchback at heart. So you do have that 60/40 split. They give you a small cover here. If you want to use this, you can. It is removable as well, simply to pull it in and out. And then you do have the ability for that 60/40 split to make your seats go nice and flat. You've got a ton of room to that second or that first row. If you want to put anything larger in here, if you are doing some weekend renovations or anything like that, camping, You've got a ton of space back here. Toyota does a good job as well. Of course, you've always got both sets of mats. So you'll notice in this vehicle, we've got our all-weather mats, and then you've got your cloth set here in the back. And then one really important thing in this package here, with the plug-in hybrid vehicles, we do give you a stage 1 cord with your purchase. It's one that of course has all of your, it's a fully usable system. It's got all the safety protections on it with an indicator whether it's charged or not. And that's for a 120 outlet volt. So that's one that you can just plug into any home. So it's not something that you need to go and get a stage 2 right away. A lot of folks run this vehicle with only a stage 1 for a majority of the time. And then maybe eventually, the second model or something like that, then they invest a little further and get into the stage 2. With the stage 1, you will charge overnight. So it's about an 8 to 9 hour charge from full dead. Very rarely will you even fully run it out of charge. So it's nice. You've got that, it'll charge it every night. And you can bring it with you. It's very small. There's lots of space here in the back to store it. And then you can plug in at work if you're there somewhere. You can plug in at the soccer game when you're watching the kids, or at grandma's house when you're away. So it's really nice that that's something that you can just bring with you, and that's included with your purchase. And then from there, like I said, it is that hatch style, so you've got lots of space. And then from there, I'll close it up. We'll hop inside the vehicle and I'll show you a few things inside as well. Okay, so as I approach the Prius here and get in, I'm a big guy, I'm 6'5". I've got long legs, long limbs. It is a long way down. It is a low vehicle. That is one thing with the Prius you have to be open with. Overall, it's very comfortable. This is a base model, so it is manual seating. This one's already stood up for myself, but you do have the pump options with your tilt on the side. So overall, I can get comfortable for being a low, small vehicle. And as you get in, you really get that cockpit feel. Toyota has made a big commitment as they transition into the EV world, and of course the plugins that we've had now for quite a few years. They've made a large commitment. They want it to still feel like home for you guys. They want it to still feel like the Toyota that all of you guys grew up on, whether you've had a previous Prius, maybe you're coming from a Corolla. They want it to feel like home. So overall, you'll notice they haven't really implemented huge changes. You do have a nice MID that's raised up a little bit here in front of you. That's what's going to display a lot of your speed, your fuel economy. And personally, I'm a bigger guy, so obviously everybody has different viewpoints. I really like that it's in front of me, up a little bit. I find it sits really nice below the steering wheel. Personally, I find a lot of the MIDs in behind the steering wheel get caught behind the steering wheel, and you end up not seeing a lot of it. I find it being raised up and behind actually is a really nice change. And then of course, you've still got your full 8-inch screen beside you that a lot of you are used to in these models. And then from there, they've done a really nice job. You've got really good touch points all throughout with the red accents here on this model, with the red stitching on the seats. They are a bit more of a sports style fitted seating, being an SE model. So most of you are used to that in a lot of our models. Overall, very, very comfortable for a base package, which is important. And then the first thing you'll notice as you sit down is the one thing with the Prius, and again, I've said this a few times, is they really take care of it in terms of features. So the full safety package that's on this is generally one that you'll see in a lot of other models, only on the absolute top model. So something like this has the driver camera here in front of you on the safety package. So that's for traffic jam assist and some of those upper echelon, higher level safety features. That's only available, for example, on the Platinum Grand Highlander. So very cool that you get that here on an entry level Prius. So this does have full Safety Sense 3.0, which is your cruise control, adaptive cruise control, automatic high beams, pre-collision system, blind spot monitoring, safe exit alert, roadside assist, all of those that you're normal. We have a full video playlist on all of those, but it goes further with stuff like the traffic camera here as well. So very cool. And actually, if you get to the upper models, the Prius also has the auto parking features as well. One of the only models on sale that has that package, or has that feature. So from there, the first thing I'll talk about, we've got the nice 8-inch screen here, really good for CarPlay, Android Auto. All of that will be fully wireless in this vehicle. So as soon as you get in, it'll automatically hook up for you. You've got lots of storage here throughout the vehicle. So you can drop your phone. If you have to plug it in, you can charge. And then of course, everything will be wireless for you. All of your connectivity up with you on purchase. You'll also have the full remote connect as well. So that's your remote start. All of your features for climate and stuff like that will be through your phone. So the whole connectivity system works really well, and it's wireless, like I said. So really nice there. And then as you come down into your climate options, Toyota's done a really good job. Even on the techier models, we still have tactile buttons here for you. Toyota will never abandon that, which is really nice. So you can change your temperature, put on your heated seats, whatever it is. You know exactly what you press. You don't have to fumble with buttons. It's really easy, and I find it's in a good location, really close to you, right in reach. And then as you come down from there, you've just got a ton of storage here. They've done a really good job of that on this model. You've got a few pieces that can come in and out. You've got all your cup holders, and I really like as well, you've got the vertical storage here, which I find is the main spot a lot of folks put their phone. And then from there, of course, you still have your console with even more charging ports in here. So just from where I'm sitting here, I can see 4 charging ports, which for tech these days is really important. The next thing that I want to focus on is, like I said, is the cluster here. I think this is a really important piece of the Prius. They've done a really good job, like I said, of making it kind of a 2-deck system with a ton of features here for your steering wheel, with all of your connectivity so you can control both your screen, all the safety features you would want with your cruise control and stuff like that right here in the steering wheel, with everything above you on your MID up above. So it's really nice. This vehicle here with the range we have right now, we're almost 1,000 kilometers of range. And you can see everything up above you, showing the full battery range on the one side with your gas range on the other. It shows what the capacity is for both as you're using power. It allows you to decide, you know, how you want to best use your power. The biggest thing with these vehicles, and it's something that we can touch on in this video, and we also have more videos talking about the EV portion of this vehicle, but the major thing you have to decide is if that 70-kilometer range is good enough for you. So having the MID in front of you really helps, where you get to understand where you're at on that EV range. You have the ability with buttons to be either in that full EV mode or in that auto mode where it's going to decide for you. That's something we can talk about more deeply with you, but it is very nice where you're able to easily understand exactly where you're at in your range. All of your options impact your range is all right in front of you. So if that's something that you're new to when you're applying climate options and changing your driving habits, of course that changes your range quite a bit. And honestly, it's something that we're used to with gas engines, but it's not something we're as prevalent to you as what it's become with EV engines. And especially up north here in Canada with all your heat options, it impacts your range quite a bit for the electric part. So it's really important to understand kind of where your range is going, how you're going to use it, and especially with these plug-in options, trying to get the most out of that EV range. We have a lot of folks that go 3 months, 6 months without ever filling up on gas, or very rarely. If that cost makes sense to you up front to be able to save the fuel, it's really good. The one big thing that's I think is important with these models, one is going to be making sure that you remote start the vehicle. It's really important that these vehicles have it. That way you can remote start it, it'll heat up, and then that range won't be impacted by preheating the vehicle. Of course, up north in Canada, one of the biggest challenges we have is preheating the vehicle, or heating up the vehicle in general through the winter. With the cold winters, that's one thing that electric power in general doesn't like. It doesn't do well generating heat. It's very demanding. So preheating it at home is really important. And the second thing is really focusing on which drive mode you're using. So something where you can use that full 70 kilometers of range of EV. It can go up to highway speeds. It can do, of course, everything in town. So if that 70 kilometers of range is something that'll work for you, then you stay in fully electric mode. And that's where you'll really be able to use that range fully, charge every night. The best thing as well is if it's something where you can even charge at work and get kind of double range is even better. But if you can use that range every day, then you stay in full EV mode. If you're going to be something where you're going to be over that 70 kilometers of range, then that's where they have the auto mode. So from there, it sort of allows the car to most efficiently use that EV range. So maybe merging on the highway or passing somebody, something like that. It might be more efficient to use the combustion engine for a little while then picking up the slack with the EV whenever it can. So in that way, it'll push, from your EV range from being 70 completely electric, it might be, 100 or 120 with a bit of a mixture. Something that obviously that depends on your driving habits, but it allows that range to go much further while being really efficient. And then from there, once it's out of that full EV range, then it'll switch to your normal hybrid that you're used to. So definitely something that's just worth playing around with. Come on in, that's something we can chat through. We have, like I said, other videos on that, so definitely learn about that. As you come through the vehicle, this is one that's loaded up with lots of good creature comforts, being a standard model. So you have the nice full perimeter heated wrap steering wheel with your heated seats on both front seats. Canadian climate, you're nice and warm, you don't have to worry about that. And then as you come through, you still of course have your full climate options. This vehicle, with most Toyotas, does have the heated wiper blades as well. So in the winter, that's really important, where they're gonna thaw right out. And then even through the summer, it's one that's worth using to really get rid of those streaky wiper blades. So that's down here on the left side. And then as you come through, I find it's one that, like I said, it's just got good space. You do have all of your buttons here right in your hand. This is one that does have the new shift style that you're starting to see on some Toyotas with the cute little over left, up and down. I say cute because to me, that's what it looks like in comparison to the old big shifters. But it's one for a new style shifter. I find it works actually really well. It's not really hard to understand. And it's got the nice park button. That's an actual physical button, which I think is actually really nice. It's not one you have to fumble with. When you get somewhere, you're parked, you're set, your parking braking gauges, and you're all good. You do have all the drive modes on this car, which is nice. So it does have the ability to go to that sport mode or eco mode. It's something you're seeing on a lot of these new hybrid vehicles with Toyota. So the vehicle can be a little bit more fuel efficient, of course, being the hybrid with the plug-in, but at the same time, it does have 220 horsepower. So if you want to have some fun with the boys, or if you're out with the ladies on the night and you want to have some fun with the vehicle, put it in sport mode. And if you want to blow some steam off getting home, whatever it is a lot of fun. It gives the vehicle a lot more pep, delivers that power much faster, larger shift points, all of that. So it's definitely something you can switch around on the fly at any time. Definitely worth playing with those different modes. Other than that, that's most of your cabin here. It's one, like I said, for me, being a big guy, I find I fit. Definitely a large step up, truly, in my opinion, from previous models. It's not something I wouldn't have spoke very highly of previous model Priuses, but I really think they've stepped up quite a bit. And it's a vehicle that even I would drive at this point. So we'll get in the back seat. I'll show you a few things there, and then from there we'll wrap up for you. Meet you there. Okay, so I'll get in the back seat here of the Prius. I was sitting in that front seat, so you have a 6'5", 6'6" guy in front of you. You get to see what I look in behind. My knees are touching. My head is close to the roof here. But overall, it's not too bad. If I kind of split up, I can get fairly comfortable. This is where you start to lose a little bit of your space. If I was over on this side with that seat a little further back, I'd have a little bit more leg room. I'd be able to get a little bit more comfortable. But you're definitely seeing some limitations here with this vehicle. I don't imagine you're gonna have too many kids that are 6'5", but you're definitely a little bit more crammed back here. Overall, though, you've got all the creature comforts you're looking for. You do have your anchors for kiddos. So if you're putting young kids back here, it's perfect for that. I myself have had, a rear facing with a forward facing both in here. You've got lots of room for that. You've got all of your anchor points, of course, up top for that. Down below here, you do have charging ports, 2 more back here. So it brings up to a total of 7 ports. And one of the best things is you actually do have a 2-prong outlet back here. It's important to note it's not a traditional 3-prong, so you can't use all of your 3-prong accessories, but for charging a lot of things or anything like that, you've got a port back here, which is really nice as well for accessories. And it's nice that it's off of the hybrid system, so it's got a ton of juice with 1500 watts. So if you have to charge, it's nice that even a short drive, if some people are using this for Uber or some of those things, it's got a lot of power for those things as well for your guests. So other than that, good space back here. They've got cup holders here in both doors for your guests, with also your center console. So you have kind of both options for cup holders and at least an armrest. And then as well, you've got your second seatbelt here. This one as well can tuck away, which is nice. So if you want to get that one out of the way, maybe if you're doing cargo or anything like that, you can also get this seatbelt out of the way and it'll detach right up and come up away. So, which is nice, so that you do actually get a full shoulder belt though for the middle seat versus just a lap belt. So other than that, we'll hop out. I'll show you we'll do a quick little couple points and wrap up the video. See you there. So if you're ready to explore the idea of going into the electric world, you're not quite sure if the full electric's your idea, or if you're just looking for something extremely fuel efficient, come on down to Forbes Waterloo Toyota. We can chat you through the different models. Toyota's really trying to do a good job where you've got a hybrid, you've got a plug-in, and you've got a full EV at this point. It's truly about what option fits for you. So come on down, we can take you through this vehicle, and from there kind of figure out what works best for you. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. If you have any comments or if there's anything you want to see on the channel, please drop a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching Forbes Waterloo Toyota's video. Take care. Bye-bye.